What's up guys, this is OSG and today I'm going to be showing you how to set up all of your difficulty settings. So each of these control basically how hard it is for you to play the game, and you should change them based on your ability of the game, and some of them can also increase your lap times, decrease your lap times. Basically this is really important to give yourself uttermost control and also become a better driver. So we're going to start off with Drivatar difficulty. Now, this goes all the way from Tourist, which is the easiest, all the way to Unbeatable. This basically just controls how good the other Drivatars are during races. I personally am going to play on highly skilled. Drivatar assist presets, I'd never recommend using this. Always set up your own stuff based on your driving. So then there's braking. You've got anti-lock off, anti-lock on, and assisted. Assisted will brake automatically to an extent when you're racing to prevent you from taking a corner too fast and either understeering or oversteering. Personally, I would never recommend using assisted, as it just makes you a worse driver. I'd always go anti-lock on if you're worse, or anti-lock off if you're better. I personally put anti-lock off as I like to feel connected to the car. So there, now in terms of steering, you've got auto steering, which is literally automatic steering. I would not recommend using this, as this defeats the whole point of a driving game. You've got assisted steering. So the issue with this is, again, it's helping you steer. It's better if you're going to play an actual driving game to just have at least most of the control over your own car. You've got standard, which is best for controller users. It makes it better because on a controller you can snap from one end to the other really quickly. So this one smooths it out a little bit so you're not all over the place. And then you've got simulation, which is mainly designed for wheels. This is because on a wheel, if you look, I've got 900-degree steering. So to steer entirely in one direction, I have to rotate it a lot. This gives you complete control. This can sometimes be used on controller, but it can make the cars harder to drive. You've got traction control here. This affects how much power is sent to the drive wheels. So honestly, if you're starting to learn to drive rear wheel drive cars, you can have that on. Personally, I like to play this off, because again, I like to be completely connected with the car. And although I'm not that good at driving yet, I want to get better at driving. I don't want to learn with all the assists on. If you've got something like a 15,000 horsepower Koenigsegg, you might want this on because you're just going to spin out off the start. However, I have an accelerator pedal so I can and a clutch so I can easily ease power in when I need it. So I'm not going to be spinning out. Anyway, we've got stability control here. This stops it from basically losing grip during cornering. It's like traction control, but that's more for a launch. So this, I always play it off because honestly, I like to be able to learn my own cornering. I like to get better throttle control, stuff like that. If you are worse of the game, you find yourself spinning out a lot and you don't know what's going on, you can put this on, but I'd recommend eventually learning this off. Now for shifting, you've got automatic, manual, and manual with clutch. What I personally recommend doing is automatic, do not use unless you're a new player and don't want to start learning gears. Learn the driving first and then change this. But once you switch to manual, I switched to manual about a month ago on Forza 4, and I found that it takes around 3-4 days of a decent quantity of playing, and then it just becomes second nature to change gears. You listen to the sound of the engine and you change gears, or you look at your tachometer and you change gears. However, sometimes manual with clutch will be beneficial if the clutch in your car is slow. Now, if you're driving something like a Koenigsegg Jesko, which has 100 millisecond gear shifting time because it's got a multi clutch gearbox, don't use this. There's no way you can shift in 100 milliseconds. But this basically, if you've got an older car which doesn't have clutch or gearbox upgrades, this can really help with your shift times. But personally, manual I use on cars with 7 or more gears, and manual with clutch I use on cars with 6 or less gears, mainly because my gear stick here has only 6 usable gears plus reverse, obviously. So then you've got driving line. This basically shows you that those arrows on the ground which show you how much what racing line to take and how much you should brake or accelerate. Personally, full's better for new players. It starts to help you learn a good racing line. I've got alright at racing lines, and I'd like to try working them out myself, so I play on braking only, so I still know when to brake, but I still know when to brake, but I don't know the actual racing line. And then here you've got off. This is for more experienced players. I wouldn't consider myself that good of a player, so I like to play with braking on. Damage and tyre wear, none and cosmetic are one and the same. That's basically if you want to see your car get scratched and cracked and dented and stuff like that. Personally, I spend a lot of time. I just like the look of the cars. The people who do the the designs, I don't know what they're called, but the patterns on the cars. Spend a lot of time doing it. So honestly, I'd rather look at the car as it is, not look at it all scratched up. As for simulation, very few people play with this. This basically allows you to break your car. This is only for very, very good players who never crash. If you're playing with this, however, if you're one of the players who does a lot of wall riding or crashing into other players, this can help you break those habits, because you'll break your car if you carry on doing that. So rewind on or off. Now rewind I generally just keep on. It doesn't increase your bonus credits, and it's useful when you mess up completely. I wouldn't use it constantly because it stops you from I only use it when you mess up. If you want to take a corner a bit faster, I wouldn't recommend rewinding for it. But personally, I like to play rewind on, because when I do a mess up big crash, I don't have to restart the whole race just to get any decent place. So anyway guys, that's all the difficulty controls. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.